Once upon a time in a small town in Israel, there lived a man named Jairus. Jairus was one of the leaders of the local synagogue, a place where people would gather to pray and study the scriptures. But now he had an urgent problem that needed immediate attention. His precious daughter was very sick, close to death, and even the best doctors in the area couldn't help her. One day, desperate for a solution, he heard about a teacher from Nazareth named Jesus, who was known for his incredible miracles. So Jairus went to find him, fell at his feet and begged him, "Please, Master, come to my house and lay your hands on my daughter so that she might live." Imagine the scene. A respected synagogue leader falling at the feet of a humble carpenter from Nazareth, pleading for his help. It must have been quite a humbling experience for Jesus. Jesus didn't hesitate for a moment. He immediately got up, ready to help Jairus' daughter. Along with Jesus, a large crowd gathered, eager to witness another miracle. As they walked together towards his house, suddenly some men came running from Jairus' house looking worried and distressed. They were members of Jairus' family. They told him with sad faces, "Your daughter has died. Why bother the teacher anymore? It's pointless. Don't you realize she's dead?" These words were like a bucket of cold water over Jesus and Jairus. Jesus turned to Jairus and said something surprising. "Don't be afraid, just believe." Jairus knew Jesus was going to do something extraordinary. He held on to those words and continued walking towards his house. When they finally reached the house, the sight that greeted them was heartbreaking. There was loud, uncontrollable crying and the sound of people loudly mourning. Jesus saw how Jairus felt. His heart went out to the man, and he knew that he was experiencing the worst moment of his life. "Why all this commotion and wailing?" Jesus asked the people. "The child is not dead but asleep." The people present started laughing at Jesus. They thought he was joking. But deep down they also hoped that he might be right. After all, Jesus had done many miracles before. Gently, Jesus told everyone to go outside, leaving only Jairus, his wife, and 3 of his disciples inside the room where the girl was lying. We can imagine that the room was filled with tension, sadness, and perhaps a glimmer of hope. Everyone was waiting, holding their breath. Suddenly, Jesus did something unexpected. He took the girl's hand and said in Aramaic, "Talitha cum," which means, "Little girl, I say to you, get up." Can you feel the intensity of that moment? The weight of those words hung in the air. Everyone in the room was focused on the girl, waiting to see what would happen next. And then a miracle unfolded before their eyes. The girl slowly opened her eyes. She first looked at Jesus, then at her parents. In a moment, she sat up and started to walk around. The room that was filled with sorrow and disbelief was now echoing with joy and amazement. "She's alive! She's really alive!" someone exclaimed. The parents were completely astonished. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. The girl was alive. Jesus had raised her from the dead. After making sure the girl was okay, Jesus gave strict orders to Jairus and his wife not to tell anyone about what had happened. He then told them to give her something to eat and let her rest. And that's how the little girl was saved from death. Once again, Jesus showed his power over life and death, bringing light into darkness and hope into despair. In this touching story, we see Jesus demonstrating his compassion for the suffering. Jairus, a religious leader, found himself in a desperate situation when his young daughter became seriously ill. Despite the efforts of healers, her condition worsened, leading to her apparent death. Jairus' faith in Jesus prompted him to seek help, and Jesus, moved by Jairus' plea, immediately set out to assist him. However, halfway to Jairus' house, a message arrived that the girl had passed away. This news saddened Jesus, but he continued his journey, possibly to show that nothing was impossible for him. When Jesus arrived at the house, the atmosphere was somber, with people loudly mourning the loss of the child. Instead of being disheartened, Jesus went inside the room where the girl lay, directing others to stay outside. Inside the room, Jesus performed a remarkable miracle. By calling the girl back to life, he surprised everyone present, showcasing his divine authority over death itself. The resurrection of the girl was not just a display of Jesus' powers, it was also a demonstration of his deep empathy and concern for those who suffered. Even in the face of death, Jesus offered hope and comfort. This event reveals important aspects of Jesus' character. Firstly, his willingness to help the sick and suffering was boundless, as seen in his immediate response to Jairus' call for help. Secondly, he displayed unwavering determination in the face of setbacks, continuing his journey despite the news of the girl's death. Thirdly, his act of raising the girl from death showcases his compassion and ability to bring hope even in the darkest moments. The story also highlights the importance of faith in the face of adversity. Jairus' unwavering belief in Jesus' power led him to seek help, and his faith was rewarded with a miracle. Similarly, the people present in the room who witnessed the resurrection firsthand had their own faith strengthened by the event. Furthermore, the miracle serves as a reminder that death is not the end, but a transition to a new life. Jesus' words, "The child is not dead, but asleep," symbolize this idea. Through his actions, Jesus offers a message of hope and comfort to those who grieve the loss of loved ones. Lastly, the story emphasizes the need to keep one's faith in Jesus despite the presence of skeptics. The people who doubted Jesus' ability to heal the girl were proven wrong when he performed the miracle. Their laughter turned into astonishment, and they witnessed the power of Jesus firsthand. As we reflect on this inspiring story, let us remember to approach Jesus with unwavering faith, knowing that he is compassionate and eager to help us in our times of need. Let us draw strength from the example of Jairus and never lose hope, no matter how challenging the circumstances may seem. May this story remind us that with Jesus, even death is not the end. And with faith in him, we can overcome any obstacle and find hope in the darkest of times.